Hey, it's Jordan. Delighted to be joined by Derek Palmer, the Vice President of Amazon Labor Union. And we have Amazon seems to be very similar to Donald Trump at this point in terms of election results. The National Labor Relations Board yesterday rejected Amazon's attempt to overturn the election, um, basically rejecting their whole argument against certifying the Staten Island victory, which you were a big part of. So tell me about what did the NLRB rule yesterday, and what's the next steps?
The NLRB ruled in our favor, pretty much demanding that Amazon bargain with the Amazon Labor Union.
So they So now Amazon is mandated that they have to bargain with you, because the way I read it was they were recommending and this and that. Does Amazon
Yeah,
have
they
no choice?
yeah they recommended. Amazon also sent a message to all their workers saying that they're going to appeal it and that they're not satisfied with the results. So we're expecting an appeal. We don't know if they're going to get the appeal, but they are expecting to appeal. And I feel like their process right now is just delayed as much as possible, but might be a little too late for that.
Right. And with their appeal, they would appeal to the NLRB, because wasn't this initially an appeal? So they're going to try to appeal for a second time.
Yeah, I think they have to. I think they're trying to take this to the Supreme Court. I think that's what their goal is.
So tell me about, with the delay, they could technically delay this so that they don't come to the table to collectively bargain for several years. Is basically, it seems
Yeah,
like their intent.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's their goal. But I mean, we have other plans. We're going to take a lot of collective action, um, and we're actually having a Zoom call coming up soon. And a lot of other buildings that want to get involved. ALU, all throughout the country. So we're gonna really stand together as a whole, like all workers from all different sites, and really show them that the workers have a voice and that we're gonna make a change, and we're not gonna wait around. We're not worried about the actual certification. We're busy. I'm getting. We're actually gonna plan some mini walkouts that's coming up. So they're gonna buckle up and get ready because it's coming.
And obviously, the Amazon in Albany has filed for a union election. There's Amazons in Kentucky and North Carolina and elsewhere that have expressed interest in organizing. Can you tell me about, despite Amazon's, delusions, how many other places have Amazon Labor Union been talking to, and how many do you feel are close to potentially filing for an election?
Well, we actually Albany is going to actually have their election in a few weeks. We don't have the actual date on that, but that's the closest right now. We already started in New Jersey, Carteret. We started out. There's a facility in North Carolina that wanted to start. Kentucky, all over. Florida, West Coast, and California. So we're really moving right now.
And amidst this, can you kind of talk about what's been going on at JFK Staten Island? My presumption is the managers have not cooled it as far as the mistreatment of union organizers, exploitation, or the working conditions improving.
Yeah, I mean, right now they have their eye on people who are union supporters. They're trying to do everything they can to monitor the movements. Uh, but I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. There's a lot of support here. The workers are supportive of us. They're wearing the t-shirts. There's even workers wearing our we have ALU vests now. So they're in for uphill battle. This is New York. This isn't Alabama. This isn't any other state. Uh, so I mean, they are trying to find a way to get rid of them, but essentially they really can't. So they're in a tough spot right now.
Right. And can you kind of describe the workers at other Amazon What are some of the things you're hearing from them as far as the reasons they're wanting to organize, similar to the reasons you guys organized for a union in the first place?
Well, I mean, ultimately, it's just the mistreatment. You know, a lot of workers, they really they work extremely hard. And they don't get the credit for it. You know, so a lot of workers want to move up, and they're not getting that opportunity to. They'll bring in like other managers from fresh out of college and have them be in the same positions that they're striving for, even though they don't have the same experience that these workers have. So that's number one. And also the working conditions. It's extremely hot. You know, right now it's like I don't even know how hot it is, but it's extremely hot right now, and I'm sitting on my break time. Um, and also like the heat is so bad at other facilities that other workers even passed away and work in warehouses in New Jersey. There's been three other deaths actually in New Jersey warehouses. Um, so the conditions are bad. The pay is still ultimately low for the tri-state area. You know, $18 still isn't enough, but they need more. Um, and ultimately, you know, just not having the freedom to come in when they want. You know, they have mandatory overtime, and that's going to be a huge problem coming up with the holiday season. You know, they're not going to have no choice, but they're going to work these 55 hours, and they can't use any of the vacation time. So it's the same system, you know, ever since 2015, since I started. So I don't see any changes that. So that ultimately, that's the reason why I was one of the union. And also, I added the fact that the pandemic really and really show how important that we are, the role that we play for the country, because we were deemed essential, and you know we didn't get anything for it. Ultimately. So those are the main reasons why people want a union right now.
Let me ask you last question. You know, Biden politicians came out after you were victorious with some praise, but I haven't heard many of them, you know, scolding Amazon for essentially, you know, trying to stop the steal, so to speak, on your historic victory. Where is the political leadership to demand that Amazon recognize Amazon Labor Union as the rightful union and pushing them to collectively bargain? I don't see that from President Biden. I don't see that from the media. Seems like a pretty big deal when the second largest company in America refuses to, you know, accept election results and collectively bargain with a elected union.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I thought that we get more support. You know, after Biden said Amazon were coming for you, so I'm thinking he's gonna be on top of everything, but it hasn't really been the case. But I mean, we have gotten support from Jessica Ramos, who's trying to help pass the Warehouse Protection Act, which she actually made that act. We just need the governor of New York to pass that. So that's the issue that we're facing right now. But I mean, we definitely had support, but not the support that we expected. But you know, we're mainly just focused on organizing and making the change from within because that's the real change. So waiting on politicians isn't really going to get it done. We're just going to have to do the work ourselves.
Thanks, Derek Palmer, VP of Amazon Labor Union. We'll stay in touch. And by the way, huge labor rally coming up for you guys on Monday, on Labor Day. I hear you visiting Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz's penthouse, Jeff Bezos' little penthouse in New York City, and then finishing in Times Square with a major rally. So we'll be covering it. Thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you.